For many years, I did not express my emotions until I realized that expressing your emotions is actually a good thing, and it did a lot of good for me in my life. And so I want to share that with you. You might be wondering, like, what's a point? What's a point of expressing my feelings? I am supposed to be the strong person who shouldn't be showing any vulnerability. That's such a stereotypical image of a man. I think a lot of men now know that that image doesn't really fit, and as a human being, you have feelings regardless. Our feelings are like our inner compass. It guides us to what we value. When you don't show your emotions, when you don't express your emotions, you end up having other problems. A big part of what's tied in with mental health for men is that they are reluctant to expressing their emotions. Men tend to try and think through things rather than actually feel what's going on for them. We get into our thinking as a way to solve some of our problems. The issue though is that when you don't tune into your feelings, you can get caught in your thinking treadmill because you're not really attending to what you need on the inside. Rather, you get stuck in a practical problem-solving loop, and usually what tends to happen is you have one thought after another thought, and then each thought comes with more feelings, and you actually become more overloaded emotionally. For some men, it builds up to the point where they become explosive, and this is when their anger comes out. And it doesn't look very good because they might get really loud, they might get aggressive. And the same thing with substance use too. There's something that's going on underneath, some emotion that's been building up and it's been needing your attention. But the more you've neglected it, the more intense it's gotten. And what tends to happen is you try to get off the thinking treadmill and maybe have a couple of beers in the beginning and it works. But then the feeling is intense, and then those 2 beers aren't enough, so then it becomes 4 beers, 6 beers, 8 beers. All you're trying to do is shut this off. And in some cases, some men that are dealing with relational problems and feeling disconnected from their partners might even go to the extent of infidelity because they're sitting with feelings of resentment and they're not really openly talking about it with their partner. And that can be really destructive to the relationship. When those feelings build up and you become really angry, it's a horrible thing because then the narrative is, oh, there you go, you're the angry guy. You don't want to be the angry guy. You don't want to be labeled as the alcoholic or the drug addict or whatever else. The only way out of this is to work through the real problems, and your feelings would actually be a really good guide to help you sort this out. If it's a problem at work, then address it. If you don't have a safe place at work to talk about what's going on for you, then maybe that sort of workplace isn't the place that you want to be for many years. And if it's at home, you feel like again and again when you try to express what you're feeling on the inside to your partner, if your partner isn't really hearing you, then part of what needs to happen is there's learning for both of you. You know, being able to understand and really hear and listen to each other. A lot of times what happens is men bottle it up. This idea that it's a weakness is really hurting a lot of men out there. Because the truth is, it's not a weakness, it's actually a strength. If you found this helpful, remember to like and share the video. On your screen, you're gonna see a video come up. It's called How to Manage Your Anger. Some of you might find that really helpful, so remember to check that out. And when you're subscribing to my channel, all you have to do is click on my face that's coming up here, and make sure you hit the bell icon so you get notified when I release new videos.